All right, look. You guys are going to have to bear with me just a little bit. I don't know what's going on with my hair right here. I don't know. It's early in the morning. I just really don't know. Like it's just looking a little crazy. All right. So don't give me any, okay? I'm here and we've got a great show. I am here. We have a great show. We are wrapping up this series we've been doing all week on winning. We've been breaking down all the key components of winning, how to consistently win, all of those things, the importance of winning, the importance of our community when it comes to winning, the impact that winning has on others. We've been breaking all that down, and we're gonna close it all down today. I'm gonna take you on a little bit of a journey. There's some things that we're gonna talk about that are deeply personal, but I feel like they're important for you to be able to really connect and understand the dots from everything that we talked about this week, why these things are so incredibly important. Does that sound fair? All right, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Thanks for being here with me. It's time. You know what time it is. It's time to rise and grind. Good morning and welcome to #Rise and Grind, the #1 morning show in the world filled with motivation, education, and inspiration. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Club, the club designed to help you unlock your full potential. Each episode is filled with celebrity interviews, inspiring conversations, and the strategies you need to get ahead in your career and your life. So grab your pen and turn up the volume because it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning. How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday. That's right. Today is Friday, March 10th, 2023. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Friday, March 10th, 2023. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most. And I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Listen, March 10th holds a lot of meaning to me and many people in my family. March 10th is a day that I used to oddly celebrate. It's a day that I used to oddly celebrate. March 10th was my dad's birthday, Glenn Lundy Sr. And every year on my dad's birthday, my mom would make him some German chocolate cake. And so she would make him some German chocolate cake. That was his favorite thing on his birthday. And so oddly, we would celebrate my dad's birthday every single year. Now, I say oddly because you need to understand that my dad was a military man. He was the youngest of 13, lied about his age when he joined the military. You see, my dad, he was the youngest of 13, but they grew up in a very tiny shack in the swamps of Dade City, Florida. All of them were piled up. They had to rotate. I believe my dad said once every 10 days or so, he actually got to sleep in the bed. They would rotate who slept on the bed and who slept on the floor in this little shack. And this shack in the swamp was filled with roaches. And so my dad actually developed a tick. He developed a tick, and anytime he'd get an itch on his face, like think about your nose itching, right? Which maybe right now, some of your nose is itching because I said that. Think about like your nose itching or a little itch in your eye. Anytime he had like an itch, he would smack his face, right? And he would smack it really loud, and he would catch his bottom lip, and it would make this sound. You could hear it all the way across the house. It's just... And it was a tick that he had developed because he would, in his sleep, he would wipe the roaches off of his face while sleeping on the floor in Dade City, Florida. So my dad lied about his age and joined the military a year young so that he could escape that environment and that situation. And he joined right as the Vietnam War was coming to an end. And so he never fought, overseas or anything like that. Instead, he ended up becoming a basketball player for the Army. He played basketball for the Army for 13 years before he was ultimately, he was honorably discharged, medically discharged. He had multiple surgeries on his eyes. He was legally blind. Thick old bottle cap glasses. And so he played basketball for the Army. Now, along the way, he married my mom. And him and my mom had my sister in Germany. That's where they were stationed in the military. That's where my sister was born. She has dual citizenship here in the United States. And then they had me a couple years later over in Texas. I was born in Fort Hood, Texas. And they were in the military as well. Now, something that you have to know about my dad, the reason I say that we oddly celebrated his birthday every year is that my dad was an incredibly controlling individual. He controlled everything in our lives. He controlled everything in my mom's life. He controlled everything, and he led with an incredibly heavy hand. Like, I grew up in an environment where you had to ask to get a glass of water. You had to ask to take a shower. You had to ask if you could muster up the courage. You had to ask for a handful of honey roasted peanuts that my dad always had in a little jar with him everywhere he went. And if you did muster up the courage to ask for some honey roasted peanuts, make sure that you grabbed enough in that first handful. Because if you were to ask a second time, my dad would let you know, why didn't you get as many peanuts as you wanted the first time around? My earliest memories of my childhood are a belt. It was a big brown, this is not it right here. This doesn't even look like it at all. But it was a big brown leather belt with a brass big buckle on the end of it that my dad used as a handle. And he would set that belt on the top of the TV that sat in the middle of our living room. He would set the belt right there on the top of the TV with the big buckle sitting in front of it. And anytime we were in the main area, anytime we were watching TV, anytime we were doing any of those things, that belt was there as a reminder that it was always in reach. And so that's one of my earliest memories as a child. I remember the belt sitting there. I remember a situation where we had a puppy, and the puppy chewed up my dad's wires to his stereo, and ultimately he took that dog and threw it over the wall of the Humane Society, breaking all of our hearts. I also remember the brutal screams of my sister as my dad beat her and me both for starting a small little fire in the kitchen. Don't get me wrong, fire in the kitchen is bad. But I just remember hearing my sister's brutal screams, man. My dad was a tyrant. He was ruthless. He made us pull down our pants and bend over as he wore our rear ends out, but not only wore our rear ends out, but ultimately wore out our self-worth. Like, it was terrifying. It was embarrassing. It was heartbreaking. And my poor mother at the time, no job, no license, no friends outside of his influence. My dad took advantage. My mom took it all on the chin, man. For a long time, my mom took it all on the chin because somehow through it all, she and we loved him. German chocolate cake. March 10th, every year, a day that we used to oddly celebrate. My father passed away a little over a decade ago, but every year on this day, it always comes flooding back. His transformation from who he was when we were young to who he was when we were older. His transformation from a man and a tyrant to a lover and a friend. Every year it comes flying back. March 10th, German chocolate cake. Come on. We got to shift that energy a little bit. We go on journeys together. This will all make sense. We'll tie it all back together. Hey, for those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe that if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you. I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Sound fair? What's up, Bella? How you doing? What's up, Robin Price? Mary Kim Farkas is up in here. Debbie Dowling Waba, what up? Kim Fair, I see you. Vicky Everett and Marilyn Wilkin, thanks for being in the building today. I see Kim Walsh Phillips. I see Pastor Jeff. I see Scott Simons and Renee, Dr. Tanji and Justin. What's up, William? How you doing, Ramon Ray? Guess what, Ramon Ray? I think Twitter's ready, baby. I think I'm ready. Jacqueline Underwood, Core Element. What's up, Ed? How you doing, William and Felicia and Russell and Health Systems? What's up, Yin? I'm sorry, it's a Yin. What's up, Stars Tina? How you doing, Dora Maria? What's up, Jimmy and Donnie and Allison? Nathaniel Banks, Ken Cook is in the building. Russell Hill, what up? Robin Price, let's go. I think I see Heather Parody up in here today. She's a gangster. What's up, Christine Urban? How you doing, Michelle Gravely? Great to see you. John Paul Guidry, getting ready to play his pickleball. Great to see you, John Paul Guidry. Tarika and James and Tracy and Crystal and Paul and Benny. Laura's up in the building. Felicia Shakespeare, I'm so glad you're here. Rick Tamburino, thanks for being with me. What's up, Tony Thorstad? You, sir, are the man. Let's go. You guys ready? Winning. Let's tie all this together. Let's bring it back around.
There is nothing you cannot be, there's nothing you cannot do, there's nothing you cannot have. You are the most magnificent, the most remarkable, the most splendid being God has ever created. Who could reject such wondrous magnificence? But you do not know who you are, and you think you are a great deal less. I tell you this, you are your own rule maker. You set the guidelines, and you decide how well you have done, how well you are doing. For you are the one who has decided who and what you really are, and who you want to be. And you are the only one who can assess how well you're doing. All you see in your world is the outcome of your idea about it. Do you want your... You have procrastinated, prolonged, protracted, protested. Now it's time that you promulgated and produced what you have been promised.
What it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide.
Your world would not be in its present condition were you to have simply listened to your experience. The result of your not listening to your experience is that you keep reliving it over and over again. You cannot resist something to which you grant no reality. The act of resisting a thing is the act of granting it life. When you resist an energy, you place it there.
You attract not just what you fear, you attract what you feel, what you are.
The more you resist, the more you make it real, whatever it is you're resisting. What you open your eyes to look at disappears. That is, it ceases to hold its illusory form. If you look at something, truly look at it, you will see right through it and right through any illusion it holds for you, leaving nothing but ultimate reality in your sight. In the face of ultimate reality, your puny illusion has no power. It cannot long hold you in its weakening grip. You see the truth of it, and the truth sets you free. Only when you say, I did this, can you find the power to change it. It is much easier to change what you are doing than to change what another is doing. The first step in changing anything is to know and accept that you have chosen it to be what it is. You are always in the process of creating, every moment, every minute, every day. How you can create we'll go into later. For now, just take a threefold being. You consist of body, mind, and spirit. You could also call these the physical, the non-physical, and the metaphysical. The process of creation starts...
If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Everything you see was once someone's idea. Nothing exists in your world that did not first exist as pure thought.
If you have a clear picture in your head of something that is going to happen, a clear belief in that it will happen no matter what.
Thought is the first level of creation.
If you can see it here,
next comes the word.
And you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
Everything you say is a thought expressed. It is creative and sends forth creative energy into the universe.
I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe. And I put it in my wallet, and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and stuff. But then, just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on Dumb and Dumber.
Next comes action. Actions are words moving. Words are thoughts expressed. Thoughts are ideas formed.
Visualization works if you work hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can't just visualize and then, go eat a sandwich.
Go first to your highest thought about yourself. Imagine the you that you would be if you lived that thought every day. Imagine what you would think, do, and say, and how you would respond to what others do and say.
Every second of every day I was daydreaming.
Put the new car up on your mirror. Put the weight you want to be on the refrigerator. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
So, do you want your life to take off? Begin at once to imagine it the way you want it to. Check every thought, word, and action that does not fall into harmony with that. Move away from those. When you have a thought that is not in alignment with your higher vision, change to a new thought, then and there. When you say a thing that is out of alignment with your grandest idea, make a note not to say something like that again. When you do a thing that is misaligned with your best intention, decide to make that the last time. And make it right with whomever was involved if you can.
I stayed true to my dreams, and by doing that, eventually they came true.
This will require tremendous mental and physical effort. It will entail constant, moment-to-moment monitoring of your every thought, word, and deed. It will involve continued choice-making, consciously. This whole process is a massive move to consciousness. What you will find out if you undertake this challenge is that you've spent half your life unconscious. That is to say, unaware on a conscious level of what you are choosing in the way of thoughts, words, and deeds until you experience the aftermath of them. Then when you experience these results, you deny that your thoughts, words, and deeds had anything to do with them.
I want to remind you to continue to dream and dream big.
What dream or vision do you want to turn into reality?
There is nothing you cannot be. There's nothing you cannot do. There's nothing you cannot have.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. If you're going to try, go all the way.
If you're going to try, go all the way. So my mom is my hero, right? She did the hard thing and she got out of there. She got all of us out of that situation that my dad had us in. You see, at first, my mom stayed for a while. She thought she was staying for us, right? That it was the right thing to do. And so she stayed for us. And then she realized that leaving was the actual answer. That was the best thing that she could do for us. So with no job, no license, going out with a fresh start as an adult, she was independent and free once she finally stood up for herself. She became independent and free once she stood up for herself. And by doing that, by her becoming independent and free, it changed my life. You see, I'm a winner because my mom's a fighter. I'm a winner because I aligned myself with God. With this idea of love, not hate. An idea of hugs and embracing, not violence. And see, now my kids are also free. You see, my mom went all the way. She did the thing that was hard so that she could be free, which freed me, which freed my kids, and made a generational impact, impacting now millions of lives around the world. See, because my mom went all in and chose to be free, I'm now surrounded by champions. I'm surrounded by champions who help equip me with the tools that I need to succeed. I'm surrounded by champions who inspire me to be great. And see, I believe that you deserve the same thing. You see, winning isn't a moment in time or a finish line. Winning is something that you do every single day because it becomes a part of who you are. You see, you don't just win, you actually become a winner. Winning is who you are. Therefore, winning is ultimately what you do. You see, with God's guidance, our 800% Elite Automotive Club has become a space for winners, right? Amazing dealers crushing it all around the country. And it's been incredible because I've learned and grown so much from being around these absolutely incredible superhumans. And when I look at it, when I look at what we created, I didn't know this is what we were creating. But when I look at what we created, it is the exact definition of what we broke down this week. You see, winning is not just a finish line, but it's ultimately a culture. And winning, of course, starts with you, as we talked about earlier in the week, right? Making sure that you are setting yourself up to win, that your personal brand, that you take care of your personal brand, not just from a marketing standpoint, but from a confidence standpoint. We talked about how winning is all about networking and continuous learning, which is what we do in our 800% club. We talked earlier in the week how winning takes a village, right? And we broke down that old adage and we discussed how important it is that we can communicate effectively in order to build a network of accountability. And accountability is not a bad word. Accountability is not about discipline. Accountability is creating opportunities to celebrate, right? We also talked about winning the survival of the fittest, right? The importance of innovation and never losing sight of our principles and our values, never losing our integrity, never losing sight of our foundation. And at the same time, you see, ultimately, overall, winning, it's not about winning the game of life. Winning is the game of life. We've each been called as children of God to live this life of excellence. A life where we fall down, as Denzel Washington says, we fall down 7 times and we get up 8. So listen, I believe that the winner in you is just starting to sprout. I believe that you found this environment. I believe that you are surrounded by champions at the moment. I believe that we are running together on this mission. To bring people together, equip them with the tools they need to succeed, and inspire them to greatness. That, truly, I believe that's why God put me on this planet. To bring people together, equip them with the tools they need to succeed, and inspire them to greatness. And that's what we've been doing in the 800% Elite Automotive Club. And God put it on my heart that is something that we need to do for all of you. You see, I realized recently, I took my whole team yesterday, but I realized recently, let me back up, the timeline's a little off. I realized something recently, and to top it off, yesterday I took my whole team to see Jesus Revolution in the movie theater. I took my team, and one of the concepts in that movie that they talked about is how the church was built in such a way that the door is so slim that most people can't go through it, and that there's all these old kind of belief systems and all these elders and these people are in the church. That I thought about that recently. I thought about this idea of kind of a small path to entry, right? And I thought, man, my company's exactly that. You must own a dealership in order to become a part of the club. Right? That was the only path. And so as of recent, it's really been on my heart to change that. It's really been on my heart to bring people together, equip them with tools they need to succeed, and inspire them to greatness in new ways. And so now our 800% Club, for the last 3 years, it's only been a select group of people, but now we're opening it up to everyone. So we now have 800% memberships at a premier level, 800% memberships at a VIP level. It's $297 a month or $697 a month, whatever works for you. But ultimately, this is your opportunity to get in the room with winners and learn the strategies you need to succeed, but not just at the level that you're at now, but at the level that you're headed to and the level after that. A winner, it's a culture, it's what you do, surrounding yourselves by the champions that are going to continue to move you forward. And see, this is really important because the hero that my mom is to me, you can become that. You can become that hero to your children, to your neighborhood, to your spouse, to those that come after you. You can create change that impacts every generation after you. You see, my kids have a better life because my mom did what was hard and bet on herself. And it's time for you to do the same thing. It's time for you to bet on yourself. And I want to be a part of that. I want to help you make winning a part of who you are. Because listen, I believe you are a child of God, the God of the universe, God that made everything. And that God called you to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Not an average version, not a little bit above, not a little bit below, but the absolute best. And see, that's something worth celebrating. That is something worth celebrating. So come join me. Go to glennlundy.com/800%. glennlundy.com/800%. You can learn a little bit more about what that looks like. You can shoot me a message if you got questions. You can text me if you want to text me. But let's do this now. Let's take this time to invest in ourselves, and let's run together at another level. I know we've been doing the morning show thing, and I know for the longest we've had, this tier that I kind of talk about. I want to bring that together in a different way. So fold in with me, glennlundy.com/800%, glennlundy.com/800%, and let's go out and become the heroes that the generations after us need. Does that sound fair? All right, fair enough. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the week on winning. Winning, baby. Winning, 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 winning. I hope you've enjoyed this week as much as I have. I hope you've learned this week as much as I have. It's been great, right? It's been amazing. I'm going to head out to, I'm going to go to Austin, Texas today. I'm speaking at South by Southwest, SXSW. It's a hard one to say. SXSW. I'll be speaking in Austin at SXSW tomorrow. And then I'll come back here Monday morning, 5:30 a.m. I'll be here, and then we're going to Nashville, Tennessee. The whole family's going to Nashville for our 800% Elite Automotive Club retreat, which I'm super excited about. And so we're going to be at the Gaylord Opryland in Nashville, Tennessee all next week. So I'll do the show from there next week, which will probably be better Wi-Fi than I have here right now in my office. They're going to be changing that though. But hey, reach out, connect with me, join the club, glennlundy.com/800%. Let's run together, and I'll see you next Monday morning, 5:30 a.m. as we do this all over again on #Rise and Grind. Have an amazing day. See ya. Thanks, Mom, for being my hero. You're amazing. Love you. Bye-bye.
And I'ma wake the world is so alarming. I #Rise and Grind, #Rise and Grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation. #Rise and Grind, #Rise and Grind, grind, grind. 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 Don't stop, good morning, good morning, don't stop, get it, good morning, don't stop, good morning, good morning, don't stop, get it, #Rise and Grind, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, #Rise and Grind, let's go, let's go, #Rise and Grind, let's go, let's go, #Rise and Grind, I know you want it, #Rise and Grind, let's go, let's go, #Rise and Grind, let's go, let's go, #Rise and Grind. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, everybody in the land. Make them all get up and turn the volume up and dance. I'm up like a rooster about my future. Better get used to the routine. I ain't sleep, I'm living the dream. Feeling like I can do anything. Cause this is God's plan. I wake up, I thank the man. Brush my teeth and wash my hands. Then I get back to the grind. Got victory on my mind. Success and dollar signs. Now open all the blinds so they can't block my shine. Cause I am the light. Amen. Going platinum with this anthem for the AM. It take passion, massive action, dedication. We the champions, so it's a celebration. This is our time and that's for sure. Every day we grinding, that's for sure. If you's a hitter like Josh, oh, lock in with Glenn and tell a friend and let them know. We #Rise and Grind, #Rise and Grind. First thing on my